Welcome back to Sorta Sophisticated, people. The podcast where I guess we try to sound smart, but not obnoxiously smart. Just like smart. Like smart enough so we fool people smart. Like that kind of smart. My name's Pete, and with me as always is Amanda. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, and hello, everybody. What are we talking about today, Pete?
We are talking about your choice of wardrobe and the overalls. That's what we're talking about today.
I love my overalls.
What is going on?
They're linen overalls. They are so comfy.
Are you headed out after this episode to a dude ranch?
Sure.
Okay. What we got going on?
Comfy.
You taking the girls?
I'm going to buy you a pair of linen overalls so you can enjoy them.
I don't know that I would ever wear
They're
overalls.
so lovely.
Okay.
They're so lovely.
They are.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Well, I'm not going to try it. I'm
well
not doing it.
Then you can't knock it.
No knocking. What are we talking about today? We are talking about shit that went down in Greece. You remember Greece? You remember when we went to Greece?
I mean, you went to Greece. So is this inspired by your trip?
This is absolutely inspired by my trip.
All
this
right.
is like a holdover. This is like I went a while ago, but like
it's
I wrote
like living rent free in your brain.
Yeah. I wrote some shit down and was like, I got to get to this. Yeah, totally.
But are we going to talk about how you hired a stylist so you could only bring
really?
a carry-on
We're doing
and
that
your
again?
bougie shit?
We're doing that.
I'm just wondering. People might be fascinated by it.
I don't understand. We're not going to talk about that, and we're not going to talk about that ever again. But touche. Because I appreciate that you tried to just give me shit because I gave you shit about your linen overalls.
No. People may actually be interested.
No.
In the fact that you got a stylist.
I'm moving on.
Fine.
Okay, so the whole idea was Mount Olympus, the Acropolis, everything that goes on in Greece, the Greek gods. Everything is steeped in history and tradition in Greece. And I remember, like, when I was there going through all the tours, like, this person related to Zeus and that building related to Artemis and that thing was, whatever, Athena. And there was, like, so many things. And I was like, recall, sixth grade mythology class, not happening, did my best. And I was like, no, I need refresh. It's refresh on all things Mount Olympus and Greek mythology. So that's what we're doing today.
So this is like post-trip refresh.
Yes.
So you're trying to make everything that you saw make sense now.
Yes,
okay,
because this is how I come up with episodes.
Okay. I love it.
Like life happens, I think of things, I write shit down, and then yes, here we are. We're gonna start this.
Do we have an official title?
We do. We have an official title.
Roll, please.
Meet the Olympians, the original dysfunctional family. Thank you, ChatGPT. That was hysterical. We are talking all things OG Greek gods. Why it's still relevant, how it started, who's on Mount Olympus, all the stuff. And when we're done, Amanda, I'm going to turn you into a mythological genius.
Is that a word?
Mythological. Is that six? I think
is
that's
it
mythological genius?
Or mythological?
I don't know. Let's TM it just in case.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. But first, you're going to tell us how we're going to be all cultured and curious.
We have to, because we got to stay true to the tagline.
It's true.
Right?
It's Greece, and it's...
okay, you just answered it. It's Greece. Greece is culture, baby.
I think that's a given, but is there something else that...
Like, not really. That's sort of it. And like I said earlier, it just goes back to when you're somewhere, like in this case, I was on the Acropolis and trying to learn all this crap. It adds so much more. You feel like you're in the history if you know enough about it. Right? It like helps connect history faster the more you are updated on this crap. So I felt a little lost because I was like, oh my God, I wish I remembered this from class. Or, I miss it. So this is sort of the only reason we're doing this is so we get cultured. And then from there, you would argue that if you know more things about everybody else's culture, like sort of the premise of the show, maybe we don't, I don't know, shoot as many people. How's that? Maybe we don't kill people. Like,
maybe we just become cultured and curious on what people are talking about.
Yes. Instead of,
fair.
Using large weapons and, taking people out. Anyway, we won't make this political. So that is what it's all about.
Fair. Well, cheers to that.
Right?
That's important.
Cultured and curious. Let's go.
And hopefully if anyone is listening, that we remind ourselves it is okay to be cultured and curious, to ask questions. It should be okay. And for people receiving the questions, again, you'd rather them have questions than an alternative.
Questions are good.
It is.
Right.
Conversation's good. Dialogue is good.
Look, let's be honest. Behind the scenes, people, Amanda and I, we don't agree on everything. Okay? Half the shit we talk about gets cut out because we're yelling at each other. But the point is, we still come back week after week to do this because we love each other. Okay? That's why.
And, we're open to hearing what the other one says.
We are, absolutely. So, and
dialogue.
I got to give you off air, by the way. I'm going to leave this as a cliffhanger for all of the listeners. But off air, I got to give you massive kudos.
Okay.
For what we were talking about last week. You got in my head.
Okay.
It was good.
Okay.
It was good. Yeah. You're going to appreciate it.
I can't remember what happened last week.
You know, like, here's the deal. I know, like, 90% of the time you hate me. I totally understand. But then, like, 10% of the time I say the one thing where you're like, oh, my God, okay. Like, he's
That's
awesome.
why we're friends.
Right. That's right. I have one of those for you. You're going to really appreciate this. Okay,
Fair.
got it. All right.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of words and dialogue, do we have word of the day?
We do. We totally got word of the day. I got word of the day lined up for the next
I know.
year.
It's so great.
Okay. And now TikTok, Instagram, they just feed me.
I love it.
Yes.
Bring
all
it.
Of it. Yeah.
The algorithm got you.
It totally does. What?
But also,
What?
I will give you kudos.
What?
I just started using AI more. One, it's terrifying, but also two, it's awesome. I mean, the way that it can build things out and how much you've used it, and like you inspired me to like try it. So thank you.
It saves my life on this show. It absolutely does. Word of the day. Ready?
Ready.
Equable.
Equable?
Equable.
Not equitable.
Not equitable. Equable. Yeah.
Huh.
I didn't even know it was a real word because I thought same as you did. I was like, equitable? Did they do this wrong? Whatever.
But EQ equal, right?
Yeah.
Able.
Able.
So
Right.
it's equalish. Maybe?
Sort of. Okay. So equable comes from the Latin word equabilis. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Equabilis?
Equabilis. Equuablbilis. Right, whatever. Right. Meaning equal, uniform, or consistent. So equable means calm or even tempered, not easily disturbed.
I will never be called equable.
No, I don't think either one of us will ever be equable.
Okay, fair.
But calm
Fair.
or even tempered. Equable.
Yeah, definitely more of a Trent
Yes.
Houston.
Yeah, Trent Houston's a
But-
very equable man.
I'm going to use this.
Yes.
I'm going to say,
Yeah.
wow, babe, great job being equable.
You're very equable. Yeah, he is.
All right, Pete, to set the stage. I know we were just talking about like Olympus, and I'm assuming that means that they're Olympians.
Well,
and so are we going to talk about like where
of course they
Olympians
are.
came from?
Olympians came from the Greek mountain, the mountain range, Olympus, Mount
So they
Olympus.
were actual people.
Well, there was a mountain range called Olympus.
Okay.
Right, but
But then the Olympus of Greek gods.
the Greek
aren't-
god, that's the whole Acropolis and the whole Pantheon, and that's the whole mythological.
Okay.
Mythological,
Cool. Very good.
mythological, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go. Okay.
yeah. So there's some fakeness to it, but no, Olympus was a real place.
So Olympus is a real place.
Yeah.
But the Olympians that we know
Yeah.
are all mythological.
Yeah, they are.
Huh.
Well, not like real Olympians like Jesse Owens and stuff.
Well, right. But then.
Right, or Michael Phelps. I mean, he's a real Olympian.
like,
but these
do
are
we
different
use-
things. We're
do we
talking about the
use-
gods,
Sure,
okay?
sure. But then do we use the term Olympics? Like, because they had Olympics.
Well, yeah, that's how it all started.
Right, they had the games and all this,
the
right?
ancient game, right?
And so then they called them Olympians because they were like gods.
We should have done that when we did our. Remember when we did our,
My
Olympics episode?
My brain.
Yes,
is blown
that's
at
where it
the
all
moment.
came from. It goes all the way back to that. And when I was in Greece, I went to the. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to say this right. The Panathiac Stadium. I don't know if I'm saying it right, which is terrible because I should know this. Which was where the 1896 modern Olympics were held.
Okay.
So you remember the ancient
Yeah.
Olympics were so long ago, and then everything went to hell forever. Then 1896, Greece started them again. I went to that original stadium. It's still there in Greece. 125 years later.
Okay.
I snuck in at like 5 o'clock in the morning and I ran the track.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You
Oh, but-
absolutely did.
Oh, absolutely. I have pictures of it. Oh, sunrise. I have pictures of me running this track. It was amazing. And then when I went back on the tour, like 6 hours later, I was like, oh, I've been here already. He goes, how are you here already? The tour guide. And I'm like, I was just looking at it. Like, he's like, you already came here? I'm like, yeah, I came here this morning. I snuck in the back. There was like a gate that was like this far open, and I got my fat body through it. Okay, anyway.
So when you get arrested, it was because of this episode.
don't say
Someone
anything,
turned
right?
you in.
I snuck in. It was excellent. Yeah. Okay, whatever.
All right, so you're going to start us off about these Olympians.
Well, I would like to say yes. But you know how I like to go back
Oh,
before
no.
Yes, I go back before I go forwards. This is how I
How
work.
far back are we going?
We got to go way back. We got to go back to the beginning of time here because the Olympians were like halfway through already. They only showed up like 2,500 years ago. There was shit before them.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's a
Let's
whole.
go back. Here we go.
There's a whole story.
Well, and who are
right?
the
Like,
Olympians?
The Olympians were the 12
Like
Greek.
Zeus and...
The 12 Greek gods. Zeus was the leader of all of that. Yes, so we're gonna get. That's what we're gonna talk about.
Okay.
But I want to go backwards to tell a little bit of the history of it, and then we'll go through all the
Is
gods.
this like where they came from?
Correct.
Great.
Right.
Let's go.
So they had a dad.
Okay.
Right. Their dad's name was Cronus.
Okay.
And all the Olympians that we were talking about, they were basically like thrown up, like puked out of their dad's stomach.
Okay.
Yeah. It was-
So like immaculate conception from the dead?
Yes, but from a dude instead of a
Okay.
woman. Yes,
Interesting.
basically the same exact thing.
Huh. I have lots of questions.
I know.
Okay.
There's so much. Okay. But I got to go back before Cronus.
So after he threw them up, is that when he decided women should then give birth because it was such a horrific
it was too
process
much.
for him?
It was too much for him.
To just puke?
He said,
okay.
Men are so weak.
Right?
Who are we kidding? All right. So we're going to start at the beginning. All the way at the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. At the beginning, there was the Word. And Amanda, the Word was God. Okay. That's a different origin story.
I was going to say, are we on the same page here?
I'm off a little bit. Okay, there was something called chaos back then. That's what they called it, chaos. Not like disorder, because everyone thinks chaos is disorder, but think of a big void.
Okay.
Like
Nothing.
like nothingness
Okay.
before creation. Then randomly one day, don't quote me on this because I'm a Christian, but here we are, comes Gaia, okay? She was this beautiful, wonderful woman, and AKA the Earth.
Okay.
Gaia was the Earth, okay? Along with a few other dudes. So Nyx was another one, night. So he came out of that whole thing. And Erebus, right? Darkness. So we had Gaia, Nyx, and Erebus. Okay.
But how about light? There's no light there.
Right.
There's earth, night, and darkness.
Yeah, thank you. What does that?
Sorry.
Why do they do that?
Continue.
It's all bad. And by the way, why is there night and darkness? Like, aren't those basically
right.
aren't those like twins? Aren't those the same guys? Yeah,
Anyways.
I would agree with you on the whole light thing. So anyway, so Gaia's just hanging out, minding her own business. Now there's no more chaos. Now there's Earth, and all of a sudden she gives birth to Uranus. Okay, or Uranus in
Okay.
Latin.
Yep.
That's what whatever the planet is named after. Yeah, the sky. So Earth. Gaia gives birth to Uranus, the sky.
Okay.
Somehow with no husband. They say it's because she was what they called a primordial being. That's quote unquote primordial being. She just was.
Okay.
So the same thing, our God, capital G, just was. Like Gaia was just was.
Uh-huh.
Okay. They didn't think biology back then. Think poetry.
It's beautiful.
Think right.
Doesn't always have to make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yep.
Okay. Earth makes sky.
Okay.
Together they make life.
That's how the little humans?
That's how the Greeks put it together, right?
Okay.
So you start with Earth. Earth made sky. In our case, it was God. In Genesis, he,
Virgin
6
Mary,
days, did the whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Well, no, Virgin Mary. What are you talking about, Virgin Mary? That was like way later.
Well, but that's how the
No,
people
he like
came
separated
to be.
light from darkness. Then he made the Earth. Then he made the thing.
Yes,
and then he made the people. Then he made the plant. Well, then he made the, I don't know, the fish. Then he made the animals. Then he made the people. Okay. And then on the seventh day, what did he do?
He rested.
He rested. But we're not talking about that. Okay, fine. So then after all this goes on, right? Earth and sky, mind you, this is mother and son. Gets really creepy after this because they have sex and have 12 titans. So there's that. Yeah, a little weird, right?
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that. It's like,
it's poetry.
I guess.
I don't know that it's real.
Because, I mean, like, it's sky and earth. So it's not, like, actually physically, medically, like,
Listen, all I know is
mother and son.
All I know is she birthed this dude. Yeah. And then.
But it's like the earth. It's not like a person, right? It's
Okay,
like,
I don't know.
Okay.
Uranus.
Okay, continue.
He gets frisky with his mom. They make
Continue.
12 titans.
Okay, here we are.
All right,
12
it's
titans.
Very Oedipusy. Okay.
Okay.
We still haven't gotten to Olympus yet, mind you, or all the Olympians. So besides the Titans, like they also made all these other deformed monstery things because, I mean, it was incest. It was gross. Who are we kidding? So they made Cyclops. You remember like one-eyed Cyclops? Everybody knows one-eyed Cyclops. They made some Cyclops, and they made something called hecatoncheires. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hecatoncheires. The dudes with 100 hands, okay? So it just goes to show you, don't have sex with your mom. It's all gross.
Are we going to get off that?
We are. I'm off
Okay,
it. I'm off it. But
great.
it's going to get worse before it gets better, but here we go, okay?
So basically you have 12 titans, and then you have Cyclops.
12 titans, and you have like the monsters on the side
Okay.
because they're all deformed because mother and son had sex. Okay.
Okay.
So I guess Uranus got jealous and thought maybe like the titans would get too powerful and try to overthrow him one day. So he decides to grab all of them and literally stuck them back inside Gaia's vagina. Like that's what he did. The concept was he stuck them back into the earth. You with me on this?
Yes.
And basically said, screw you guys. I don't want you because you're going to be too powerful.
I'm just stuck on how sexualized you made this whole story.
I didn't make it sexualized. I have a feeling the Greeks did.
Okay.
This is poetic. This is beautiful. This is our origin story. So there
Okay.
has to have something to do with it. Okay. Anyway, so Gaia is pissed because now she has to rebirth these 12 titans again. But she's like, dude, nobody's stuffing these kids back inside my vagina without my permission. So she builds this massive flint sickle. Yeah. The kind you see in horror movies, like sickles, right? That like shred the corn down, right? You know what a sickle is.
Okay.
You with me? Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I'm waiting for the next part.
And she starts talking to her belly, and I guess like that's where all the kids are stuck in the core of the earth, and asks all of her sons inside her belly somehow, which one of you is brave enough to come out and try to kill Uranus?
So wait, so who volunteered as tribute?
That's where Cronus comes in. Cronus. Remember at the beginning I said Cronus like threw up all these Olympians out of his stomach?
Yep.
Cronus came out. He was the baby. He was the 12th Titan. And he was like, dude, give me the sickle. I'm going to handle this shit for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what happened?
So I guess Uranus comes back around to try to get a little, like from Gaia, you know what I mean? I don't even know how she's still even letting him, do her, quote unquote, right? So Sky is trying to get a little more action, even though she's pissed at him. Doesn't matter. So anyway, they're about to get it on, and out of nowhere, Cronus pops out and castrates Uranus with this sickle that his mom gave him. So now blood and you can imagine some other stuff.
Very horrific.
Yeah, but you're like, I'm not sexualizing. This is what's happening. It's spilling all over Gaia, and out of all of that pops the race of giants, the tree nymphs, all the Furies, a bunch of other cool stuff, like all these other mythological creatures come out of all that. So at least Uranus' balls weren't cut off for nothing. But basically, that's what Cronus did. He cut his nuts off. I have a fun fact about those same balls a little later on.
My brain can't handle all of this.
It's a really good one, and it has to do with birthing one more of the gods, actually. One more of the Olympians. You won't believe this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Okay, where was I? Back to where we started. So now all the way back to Cronus. Cronus takes over. Now that basically...
His dad's dead.
Well, his dad's not dead. His dad just had his balls cut off, so he's a eunuch, so he's worthless now. So Cronus is in charge. So this was the whole problem that Uranus was afraid of. It happened. Like one of his sons got too strong and, cut his nuts off. So here we are. This is a lot. So Cronus grabs his older sister, and they decide they're in love. So two of the Titans decide they're in love, and it's time to make babies.
It's very incestual.
Here we go. Okay, so anyway, I guess there's this whole prophecy going around that Cronus knew that one of his kids would overthrow him one day. So this is like father like son, same exact thing's happening. So his sister that he decided to...
Have babies with?
Yes, he decided to have babies with. Her name's Rhea. Cronus would eat it.
He would eat the babies.
He would eat the babies, yes.
Okay, so she would have a baby. He would eat it.
Yeah.
And then?
So Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, all of the Olympian gods that you know of, all were like born and then eaten.
Okay.
So now we're on number 6. And Rhea's getting a little pissed off. She's doing all this work, having all these babies, having to deal with Cronus having sex with her all the time, and he keeps eating them. So she texts her mom, Gaia, and asks what she should do. Right? And Gaia gives her a little advice. And she's like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to plan a trick. So she tells Rhea, okay, that as soon as number 6 is born, Zeus is number 6, hide him in a cave somewhere on the island of Crete, and instead wrap him in a rock in a baby's blanket and hand it to Cronus to swallow instead. So Cronus isn't going to swallow the baby. He's going to swallow a rock. Got it?
Okay.
That was the big plan. Totally worked. Rhea had the baby. Cronus takes the baby. The baby's a rock. It's wrapped in swaddling clothes. Boom. He eats it. You with me so far?
Zeus grows up, safe and sound.
Zeus totally grows up.
Okay.
First one to grow up. This is why Zeus is in charge.
But there's like Poseidon. What happened? How did they come about?
Well, they're going to come back.
Okay.
They're all coming back from the dead.
Oh,
because this is how this all works. Okay. This is where shit gets good. So after how many years? I don't even know. Zeus comes back like this badass, big-ass man. He's like The Rock. Like Jason Momoa. Like big, like Zeus. Okay? He goes and finds Cronus because he's got to kill his dad now, sticks his finger down Cronus' throat, and forces Cronus to throw up all of his brothers and sisters.
That's how they all.
There we go.
That makes
so they
more
all
sense.
come back one by one.
Not immaculate conception.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Since they're all gods, they just came flying out of Cronus' mouth, like fully grown, fully dressed, all nice and everything. Of course, they're ready to go.
Looking very godlike.
Right. So he's like, "Thank you. I have all my brothers and sisters back. This is excellent."
Okay, but now that was only 6 though, and there's like 12 Olympians.
I know that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're still going.
We are.
Okay. I'm locked in. Let's go.
So Zeus and his brothers and sisters basically declare war on all the Titans because they're pissed. The shit hits the fan.
On all the Titans. Okay.
Yeah, they're pissed at the Titan. All the 12 Titans. Not just Cronus, but Cronus' brothers and sisters. Cronus, Rhea, and all the other brothers and sisters. So you had Gaia.
Start with Gaia.
It started with Gaia and Uranus, and they had the 12 Titans, and then the Cyclops and all those other weird freakish creatures.
And
so
of the 12.
Of the 12, Cronus then had all these babies. So now, basically,
Olympians. Did the other ones have any babies?
I don't know.
Okay, no,
we're not getting.
Okay.
They're less important characters in this story.
Cronus's genealogical line.
Absolutely are. So now Zeus and his brothers and sisters are like, fuck this shit. We got to take care of Cronus and all the Titans. So shit goes down. It's like the battle for Middle-earth. I don't even know what to tell you. It's called Titanomachy. I don't know. Yeah, it's a big thing, right? It was a 10-year battle to the death, Amanda, to the death. The Olympians versus the Titans. Thunderbolts versus the mountains.
You just went a million different ways.
It was big. That's all I'm saying. It was big.
But it was like a gazillion years ago, so it's totally fine. But it actually took literally 10 years?
Yeah, I don't even know, right? Like, who decided?
Just checking.
Like,
is there time now and then difference.
Is there historical evidence of 10 years? Did someone write that down? That the battle of all these gods took 10 years? That's kind of dumb, right? They don't even know. Nobody was around. They just picked 10 years, I think.
Okay.
It's kind of bullshit if you ask me. I think when I was doing some digging, it has to do with the Trojan War. Because, like, remember the Iliad of the Odyssey? That also took 10 years. So I think somewhere along the line, somebody just started making shit up. Like, this took 10 years because that sounded good for the story, right?
Good storytelling.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so anyway, Zeus and his siblings They win, of course.
We all know
Here
this.
we are. Well, thanks to Cyclops, and remember the 100-handers we talked about earlier? I didn't know what their whole name was, but
Yep.
they basically all got together and then banished the Titans to this place called Tartarus.
Okay.
Basically like a fancy dungeon at the bottom of the underworld. And then Zeus goes on to make Olympus great again, right? That was the whole concept of what, like with him and his brothers and sisters. He didn't do it alone, right? Hey, I'm making Olympus great again. Who wants to come with me? Okay. Technically, that's when they decided to live on Mount Olympus. You get the idea.
Understood. Okay. So it explains a lot of like the history and how it all came to be. But why does this matter so much to Greek culture?
Right? There's a lot there.
Did the Greeks come from them?
Here's the deal. It's a long story. This was like 2,500 years ago. It's a long time. Different times. Here's the thing. The Greek gods weren't about like being perfect role models. Like
No, because they were awful.
Our Christian God, different story,
Right.
Jesus, the whole idea, like I get that concept. But this was ancient Greeks' way of life making sense to them. So they wanted imperfect gods. That was the whole idea. So think of how it manifests itself. So it needed to explain science. It needed to explain
Create a reason
stories.
for
It
why
needed to
things
explain
are the way
science.
they
Right,
are.
absolutely everything.
Okay.
Right. So think of thunder. That was Zeus. That's why thunderbolt, Zeus, like thunder, right? Earthquakes. The whole thing with earthquake, that's Poseidon. That's the sea god. Seasons. They didn't understand seasons. That was Demeter. And all the grief after losing Persephone. We'll figure all that out later. I'll explain all that. They didn't have science yet. They didn't have, who was it? Galileo and Copernicus. All the stuff that we figured out. Dude, they were flat earthers. Let's be honest. They were totally flat earthers back then. And then the other piece of that whole thing was, like I said earlier, they weren't perfect on purpose. So the Greeks looked up at Olympus and saw themselves, like their own families. That was the whole point. The stories or myths, or I don't care, whatever you want to call them, gave the Greeks permission to be imperfect. So they weren't just worshiping gods. They were telling stories through the gods about themselves. That's why all this was created.
Okay. That makes sense. But I think we've only talked about 6. And you said that there was like 12.
There was. You're absolutely right. There were 6
Where
that
do the
came
other
from Cronus.
6 come in?
So Cronus and Rhea only had 6 kids. You're
Right.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
They stopped with Zeus.
Okay.
Then Zeus and his siblings overthrew the Titans.
Yes.
And then actually Zeus had like 6 or maybe even 7 gods from a few different goddesses. So there's more there. Zeus did the rest.
But I'm thoroughly confused.
What?
All of a sudden there were more goddesses somewhere that Zeus could have babies with?
Yeah, this is.
I think you need to run through it just like real quick and straight to the point.
Can you suspend judgment and just stop trying to put this all together linearly? I know this is how your brain works, but you got to just, this is all poetry. This is all poetic. So basically, I'm going to say this like as simply as I can. There were 6 of them. Then Zeus made more of them. And the Greeks sort of settled on about 12 were like the main gods of Mount Olympus. But there was a few other gods. So maybe sometimes people think there's 13, 14, 15.
Okay. But when you say like Zeus made them.
Yeah. I'll go fast. So Cronus and Rhea had Zeus, Hera, Poseidon, Hades, Demeter, and Hestia. Okay. Those were the 6.
Yes.
Then Zeus had Athena, Apollo, Artemis, Ares, Aphrodite, sort of. We're going to explain that. Hephaestus, Hermes, and Dionysus. Okay? And those are like the main ones. And I think that's more than 12. I think it's like 13, but whatever. Okay. So I'm going to start with Zeus. Are you ready?
Yes.
So Zeus, obviously, the king of the gods. We know this. Okay. God of sky, god of thunder. So on paper, he was, large and in charge. Let's go. Super powerful. But in practice, he was totally out of control. Like he couldn't keep it in his pants at all. I guess his toga, not really his pants, because he didn't wear it. Well, maybe he was nude half the time. I don't really know. Basically, back to sex. He had sex with anything that moved and made a shit ton of babies, both gods and demigods. He didn't even care because he was just hot for women in general. Mortal women, goddesses, didn't matter.
Okay, womanizer, got it. Moving on.
Total male chauvinist, for sure. Okay, so next you have Hera. So if Zeus was the king of the gods, then Hera was the queen of the gods. Both his wife and sister, mind you, because we need incest all the way. She happened to be the goddess of marriage and family, which, let's be real, is the only reason she stayed with Zeus after all his womanizing and cheating in the first place, because she was a goddess of marriage. It also helped that she was the queen of revenge and basically took it out on every woman Zeus ever cheated on with. So like, there's
Wait,
that
you
too.
said she was the goddess of marriage.
She was. Yeah.
But she was also the queen of revenge?
Yes. So
That is ironic.
So she stayed with Zeus because she was the goddess of marriage, but it helped that she was the queen of revenge. So she literally took it out on didn't take it out on Zeus. Took it out on all the women who decided to.
Oh, interesting.
Zeus. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Right? Huh. Okay. But do you see how this makes sense? Because like this is what was going on probably in Greek culture. Like shit was happening like this. So they needed like idols to. Okay, got it. Yep. Okay. So next we have Poseidon. He was the god of the sea, earthquakes, and oddly enough, horses. Sort of random how horses are thrown in there. Zeus's brother. Poseidon was like the mystery man. Sometimes he was awesome. Other times he would kind of sink a ship because you looked at him funny. So kind of bipolar, not going to lie, kind of weird.
Okay.
Fun fact, I learned this while I was in Athens. Thank you. Poseidon actually fought Athena to be the patron god of Athens. Obviously, Athena won, because, Athens, Athena, otherwise it would be like Poseidina. It's not. Okay, so there we go. Next you have Hades. That's Zeus's other brother. He was the oldest in the family. Super dark. Basically got screwed, though. When they were splitting everything up, Zeus got the sky, Poseidon got the sea, and Hades got the underworld.
Oh.
And contrary to popular belief, Hades wasn't evil. Everybody thinks of Hades like the devil because it's the underworld. But that's not what it was at all. He was a regular older brother, just serious, less wild, protective. Like, that was his job, like, to protect the afterlife. So he was pretty chill. Never really left the underworld, kept to himself. Like, he did.
Minus that one time.
Yeah, he did kidnap Persephone. But other than that, he was an older brother. But like, people give him like a shit rap, and I think that's bullshit.
You make him sound so lovely.
He was very lovely. Okay, 2 more of the original 6. So then you have Demeter, who was Zeus's sister and goddess of agriculture. She's the reason we have seasons, like I said earlier. Her daughter Persephone was kidnapped by Hades. We just talked about that. And because she was so sad, Demeter was so sad, she wouldn't let any of the crops grow. So basically, that's how winter was born.
Ah, okay.
But then Persephone was allowed to come back to visit every year. Hades let her come back to see her mom. And so then Demeter cheers up, and voila, you have spring. So like, you get the idea. This is how the seasons were born, thanks to like Hades kidnapping her.
Yeah, this is just like a brain screw, man.
Is this a lot?
Yeah.
I know,
It's
right?
all crazy.
But see how much, this would be helpful if you were sitting in Athens learning all this shit.
It's true.
About why they erected all these temples on these people's behalves. Okay, so then finally there's Hestia, goddess of the hearth. Not really considered a major player. So this isn't really one of the Olympians, but like, that's my point. Since she was one of the original babies of Cronus, I threw her in here. She was quiet and steady, like no drama, which is probably why there's not a lot of stories about her. She's sort of the introverted one, like holding the family together while everybody else goes batshit crazy. So in my family, I'm Hestia. Thank you very much. Okay. Yay. Okay. All right. So that's all of Cronus's and Rhea's babies. You with me?
The 6.
All right. So now we're going to do Zeus and all his kids.
Okay.
So first you have Athena.
Right.
So Athena was the goddess of wisdom, strategy, and crafts.
I love the crafts.
And then here we go with Athens, right? Athena, Athens. Okay. The way she was born was kind of wild, not going to lie. So it goes like this. Zeus had a headache, probably because of all the thunderbolts he was throwing. So he pops to Motrin, and 15 minutes later, literally, boom, Athena bursts out of his skull. Fully grown, fully armed, warrior, ready to go. That's one massive headache, Amanda, seriously. Right? And Athena, like we know.
One way to be born.
Yes, she's a total badass, right?
Okay.
You know Harry Potter?
Of course.
Athena is like Hermione Granger.
Okay.
Right. We love Hermione, but in goddess form, of course. Well,
Okay.
I mean, Emma Watson is kind of a goddess. We love Emma Watson anyway. Who are we kidding? But you get the idea.
Totally.
You got it? Okay.
On board.
I mean, Hera didn't even have to do any work. I mean, Athena's born out of his head.
Okay.
Okay. Next, you have the twins, Apollo and Artemis. So Zeus cheats on Hera, because I said he was a womanizer, with some hussy goddess named Leto. And she was the daughter, by the way, of 2 other Titans. We won't get into that whole thing. So like Zeus's cousin. But,
Okay.
So I have to keep it incestuous for you because it's really fun for me to do this episode. They basically have Apollo and Artemis. Apollo was the god of the sun, music, and prophecy. And Artemis was the goddess of the moon, the wilderness, and the hunt. They were like the Wonder Twins in Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Did you grow up with Hanna-Barbera?
I did.
Cartoon?
Yeah.
Wonder Twin powers activate, form of an eagle. Like, yeah, they were awesome. Okay. Okay, then Zeus goes back
throwback. Sorry.
right. What are you going to do? Then Zeus goes back to Hera. So he apologizes or something because somehow, they have sex again. And out pops Ares, god of war.
Okay.
But not thoughtful, tactical war.
No, he's
this is not like Napoleon or anything. This is like messy chaos war. This is like drunk bar fight war. This is like bad, right? He's always trying to pick a fight. Ares is
he's a hothead.
He's a dick.
Yeah.
Yes. Even the Greeks didn't like him that much. They respected Athena way more for her brains and tactics and looked for her in times of war than really Ares. Ares was just like the violent a-hole brother.
Right. He's the one who just started fights to start fights. And
absolutely.
Here we are.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So a few more. I'm almost done.
Yep.
So then we'll do Aphrodite next. So she, of course, everybody knows, was the goddess of
love
and beauty. Do you remember my fun fact about Uranus's balls?
Yeah, I really was hoping we were never going to talk about his balls again, but here we are.
And we are. We're doing that. I never forget, Amanda. Okay. So technically, Aphrodite isn't really Zeus's kid.
How is she not Zeus's
She's really
kid?
his aunt.
How is she his aunt?
So when Cronus threw Uranus's balls back into the sea, Aphrodite was born from the sea foam that was created from his junk when it was thrown in there. So she's actually the daughter of Uranus. making her Cronus' sister and Zeus's aunt.
Okay.
But since she's an important goddess and served on Mount Olympus, it's just easier to think she's Zeus's kid and hangs out with all her brothers and sisters. But that's not actually true. And besides, let's be honest, it's perfect because it helps with all the love drama and scandals.
Okay.
Okay, last but not least, you have Hephaestus and Hermes. So Hephaestus was Hera's revenge baby because Zeus had Athena. Remember how Zeus had Athena out of his brain or whatever? So Hephaestus doesn't have a dad, I guess, technically. So Hera was like, well, if you did it, I'm going to do it. He was the master blacksmith of Olympus and made all the weapons for everybody. If we're thinking Lord of the Rings, dude, he was like one of the dwarves. He lived in the dwarf kingdom, right?
Okay.
He handled everything. And then Hermes was the son of Zeus and a nymph, Maia, his cousin. And he was the god with those cool, like golden winged shoes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. He was the messenger guy and the god of travelers and thieves because somehow travelers and thieves go together. Don't ask me how.
But wasn't he also like the pot stirrer?
Oh, he totally was.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, dude. He was totally the pot stirrer. You got to love the pot
Okay,
stirrer.
so that's all of it.
Yeah. Well, technically, there's one more. There's Dionysus.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. We love Dionysus. Okay.
But why technically?
Well, because remember when I said there's supposed to be 12?
Oh, yeah, he's your 13th.
So he's like my 13th. But Hestia isn't really one of them. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
Right, yeah, okay. So he was born from a mortal woman, a princess actually, named Semele. I might have said that right. Don't shit on me, please, people. The story goes, Hera found out that Semele was pregnant, basically tricked her to ask Zeus to show her his true god form. And when he did, he burned her alive instantly.
Oh, so he oopsies unalived her.
Yes, he did. He oopsie unalived her. Absolutely. He was too stupid to know that would actually happen. Go Zeus. Well, he kind of thinks with his dong anyway, right? We get the idea. So basically before she dies, yeah, right? It gets gross. This is unbelievable. Before she dies, he rips the unborn baby out of her and sews it into his leg to keep growing so it can be born later.
Okay.
And then a little while later, out pops Dionysus from Zeus's leg.
This is so...
Yeah, I know. It's
very
insane.
random.
It is so random.
I don't
right?
know.
Okay. Anyway. So he was the god of wine, parties, and theater. Everybody loves Dionysus. He is the badass god, right? Let's be honest. Like life of the party. Who doesn't want to be around Dionysus?
Fair. And thank you for this.
That's it.
Who the god and goddesses are.
Done and done. I got through them all.
What is that? Family tree of sorts?
Yeah.
I also just had this like revelation of, we probably learned this sophomore year, but
did.
I don't even think my brain was fully developed enough to even like get a glimpse into understanding any of this.
Well, I also think they skipped all the sex parts because it was sophomore year.
Well, okay,
right?
Fair.
Yeah.
But even that, I mean, just you have to appreciate it. I think the way that you said, like thinking it like poetry, does help.
You have to
like understand it a little bit better. So I get that they're not really like gods of a religion, that the Greeks were trying to make sense of everything.
Yeah.
So they created these beings. And I know that's like to help them deal with life. But how did that really apply in Greek life? If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I got it. So yeah, besides the science, right? Because they had to explain like thunder and lightning and earthquakes and all that shit. Then you're right that we were talking about earlier about sort of
it's like the sciencey stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we started talking about how they cope with life, and that's why Hera was revengeful. And I know you don't love the sex parts, but like that's the whole point. Greeks were doing this in real life, and so there were problems with all that, and they needed to cope with it all. But when you really break it down on how it actually all played out for them, think of like, like Myers-Briggs, the personality types. Mm-hmm. Okay. The personality types stemmed from these Greek gods, the 16 major personality types.
Oh, interesting.
Right? Yeah. So Athena, the wise mentor. Hermes, the lovable sort of rogue dude stirring shit up, the jokester, right? Dionysus, the friend convincing you to do tequila shots every night. Like whatever it is, each one of them sort of has their own personality that helped the Greeks understand who they were dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And so it helped them feel comfortable and safe and know how to deal with the world.
Fair.
Yeah?
So they're like bringing about humanity's
totally
being
from
the gods.
In all cases, it was an explanation for life. Yes.
Okay, so not religion, but more so creating like a foundation for storytelling and
I like
philosophy and relating to the culture of what was happening at the time.
This is what I bring the sorta, you bring the sophisticated.
I mean, I don't know about that. I'm
just
trying to make it all make sense in my brain.
Well, because sometimes I go off the rails.
No, you didn't go off the rails. It was just this very complex thought process.
I got you.
Alrighty. So I think since we sorted all of that out just a bit, fun facts? Is it time for fun facts? I mean, you gave us the history. Good. We learned what we need to learn. We got
need to do
family
fun facts.
tree.
I got nothing else in this brain.
Great.
Other
let's
than
go.
like we just learned about a whole
now just
bunch
time
of
for a
gods
good
and
time.
goddesses.
Let's go.
The problem is there's like a million fun. Like I literally could do a million.
Right. So just top 10.
Top 10. Top 10.
That even seems like a lot, but we'll do top 10.
We're going to do top 10. All right. So number 1. Zeus once turned into a golden shower. Okay, not that kind of golden
that's
shower.
gross.
Don't get mad at me. It's like a real golden shower to seduce Danae to get her prego. Yeah, he literally became a cascade of golden light and coins to slip into her locked bedroom and totally do her. Go Zeus.
Gross.
I told you he was a total freakoid.
Gross.
Okay, number 2. Artemis demanded celibacy from all of her followers. No sex celibacy. We love Artemis, okay? Break that rule and you would get turned into a deer and hunted down and killed. She wasn't messing around. Okay, number 3, Hermes, the messenger god guy. Yeah, so apparently he invented the lyre when he was a baby, like that little wooden thing that crossed between the harp and the guitar. So apparently the day he was born, he snuck out of his crib, found a turtle, scooped the guts out of its shell, stretched it across like the friggin' shell to make strings to play music with it. And voila, the lyre was born.
All right.
Pretty gross.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. Okay, number 4. Want to know where the constellations...
Very creative.
It sounds really weird. Want to know where the constellations Ursa Major and Ursa Minor come from? Like in the stars?
Okay.
Yeah. So Athena...
I didn't even know it came from the Greeks.
Yeah, so Athena had a bestie named Callisto, who was also one of Artemis's favorite hunters. Or should I say, I guess, like huntresses? Huntresses? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, like everyone else, she was seduced by Zeus. Sometimes Zeus actually would disguise himself as Artemis, because I guess Callisto went both ways, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Anyway, he ultimately did her, and they had a son named Arcas. So Artemis or Hera, I'm not sure which one, get pissed off, and one of them turns her into a bear. We don't know which one.
Oh.
But no one ever told her son Arcas. He just thought that she left or died or something, like his mom just disappeared. So anyway, he grows up and becomes this famous hunter who finds his mom, the bear, and right before he kills her, Zeus steps in and saves them both by placing them up in the stars as Ursa Major, the big bear, and Ursa Minor, the little bear. So next time you spot the Big Dipper, you're basically looking at one of Zeus's cover-up jobs.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That was it, because he didn't want the son to kill the mother.
Okay.
Because it was all his fault in the first place.
Fair.
You with me? Okay. Number 5. So Aphrodite was married to Hephaestus. So like, how's the hottest god married to like the ugliest god? I haven't figured
That's
that
how it
whole.
works.
It must have been an arranged marriage. Something fucking was going on.
True love is true love.
Yeah.
Peter.
Anyway, total Beauty and the Beast. She hated it, of course. She ended up having this passionate toward love affair with Ares, god of war.
Well,
right?
Aries.
Yeah. Well, Hephaestus eventually found out and made this unbreakable, invisible net and snagged them up one night when they were totally going at it, like mid-hump. And he dragged them and trapped them naked into Olympus to humiliate them in front of everybody.
Huh.
Kind of hilarious. Go
There's
Hephaestus.
so much drama.
Go Hephaestus. I love it. Okay, number 6. Poseidon actually created horses. So you remember back to like why he was like the god of horses?
Right, being the god of sea, just
Right.
creating horses.
Yeah. So back to the story of Athens, I was mentioning at the beginning. So when Athens was choosing a patron god, Poseidon and Athena each gave gifts. Poseidon struck the ground with his trident, producing a saltwater spring, or in some other versions of the story, the first horse. But Athena eventually won the contest with her olive tree, and Poseidon was pissed. But the horse gift sort of stuck. So in mythology, Poseidon is credited with creating horses, making him like the OG cowboy. But also, not going to lie, that's kind of a weird flex. Like for
The goddessy.
it is kind of
The irony.
right. Okay. Number 7, Hestia, one of the lesser known goddesses, one of the OG kids of Cronus that we talked about for 2 seconds.
Yep.
Totally gave up her throne for Dionysus.
Oh.
Yeah, you were asking about that earlier. So technically she was one of the 12, but she hated the drama. So when Dionysus was born, needed a seat at Mount Olympus, Hestia voluntarily gave up her throne to keep the peace among the gods. Classic older sister energy right there. She stayed in Olympus, but focused instead on tending the eternal fire, symbolizing stability and hospitality. Basically now she's just sort of like the cool aunt that doesn't get
Fun.
into anyone's shit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Goddess of the
We like her.
goddess of the hearth and home, Hestia. Number 8, want to know why we're so friendly with dolphins, like humans and dolphins? Goes back to Greek gods.
Okay.
Yeah, Dionysus. Okay, so as a young god, Dionysus was apparently kidnapped by pirates who thought they'd ransom him for a little cash reward. But bad move. They picked the wrong guy. They thought they could outsmart a god. Dumbasses. Anyway, Dionysus isn't having this, so he turns himself into a lion, and of course, all the pirates freak out, jump overboard, where he subsequently turns them all into dolphins.
Oh.
So this is why dolphins are considered so
'Cause they're
friendly to
humans.
humans. Right, they're literally repentant pirates. That's the concept. Yeah.
I feel like they would be more troublesome if they were.
Yeah, probably.
But
Yeah.
okay.
And probably talk a little bit weird. The dolphins would have. Okay. Number 9, Apollo killed a python as a toddler.
Oh, a
How's that-
python.
How's that for badass? Yeah, so apparently baby Apollo, let's go, traveled to Delphi, found a giant python guarding the oracle's sacred site. And since he wanted to get in it, he grabbed a bow and arrow and just shot it And then he subsequently claimed Delphi as his temple, making it like the center of Greek prophecy. Thank you, Apollo.
Oh, interesting.
Number 10, Hephaestus once trapped Hera in a magic throne. Okay, so the story goes that Hera threw him off Olympus for being lame. Like literally, okay, Hephaestus was like a limp.
Right,
Hephaestus
he had
was
the
like
bad luck. Yeah.
Okay. And apparently he was so pissed off that he sent her a throne made of gold as a gift. But when Hera sat on it, magical restraints trapped her to the throne, locking her in place. Dude, none of the gods could get her free. Eventually, Dionysus got Hephaestus drunk. Thank you, Dionysus. Let's go. You always want him around. And convinced him to forgive Hera and release her from the throne.
Wasn't Hera his mom?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
He was pissed at her because she kicked him off of Olympus. Dude, this is serious shit. So like in regular Greek world, down off of Olympus, that'd be like somebody getting kicked out of the house. And it's like, oh shit, how do I get back in there? Okay. And finally, last one, Disney's Hercules almost screwed everything up.
What?
I know, Disney doesn't
What do you
screw
mean?
stuff, but they did, right? In a hilarious way. So in the movie, Hercules is Zeus and Hera's beloved son. But in the myths, Hercules was Zeus's illegitimate kid. And Hera spent most of her life trying to kill him. Not even, so it wasn't even close.
Could you imagine that being a Disney film?
Right. Exactly. They had to make it look good. And Pegasus, the winged horse, yeah, totally made up. Yeah.
Oh, Pegasus not actually a thing?
No, came from Medusa's severed neck, and Perseus beheaded her. So Disney didn't do all its homework appropriately. Well, I mean, maybe they did their homework and left all that shit out on purpose.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
So none of that was correct?
Yeah. Maybe that's why it flopped. Who knows? I don't know.
It did not flop. It is like an amazing...
Hercules. When you think of Disney, you don't think of Hercules in their top 10.
There you do.
No. Okay, apparently you
Hero
do.
to zero.
Wow. Let's go.
Okay, anyways.
You're all in your field.
That was a lot of trivia.
Yeah, I know it was. It was too much.
But I mean, I guess that is mythology, right? There's a lot to it.
It's a lot of shit
It's
going on here.
not just like a few facts that we all know.
Look,
so
it was a fun
cool.
rabbit hole, okay? Like there was a lot of gods, there was a lot of sex. It was right up my alley. Amanda, what do you want me to say?
Well, now if anyone's going to Greece, they should listen to it.
They should. Absolutely.
Follow up on it.
Let's go.
Here we go. All right, so you want to sum it all up for our little what we need to know when we go to Greece?
Yeah, we got to sum this up fast because this has got long. All right, only one today. Read a book, people. Read a book. It's called Hesiod's Theogony. It's a book-length ancient Greek poem, like basically the family tree and origin story of all the gods.
Oh, interesting.
It was written like in 700 BC, and it's one of the earliest works of Greek literature, along with Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. And fun fact, the word theogony literally translates to birth of the gods.
Oh, interesting.
So there.
I'm here for it.
It has everything. Like who was born from who overthrew who, why Aphrodite popped out of the sea foam. It's actually pretty easy. It's cool. Like I'd read it. Okay?
Okay. Put it on the to-do list.
Get it on there. Let's go. And then remember these details to seem sort of sophisticated. The Olympians that ruled Mount Olympus are third gen. First it was Gaia and Uranus. Then came the Titans, Cronus and Rhea and all their siblings. Then came the Olympians, Zeus and his siblings. Then Zeus overthrew Cronus in the Titanomachy, a 10-year war, with the help from the Cyclops and the 100-handers. Number 2, the Greek gods are messy, flawed, and totally human-like. They fight, cheat, and scheme, which is why their stories have lasted for all these generations. Number 3, Greek myths explain nature. Seasons are Demeter grieving Persephone's time in the underworld. Storms, Zeus throwing tantrums. Earthquakes, Poseidon just being a cranky ass. 4, all these legends and stories weren't morality tales. They were mirrors of humanity, ambition, jealousy, chaos, and love on a cosmic scale. And finally, the Greek gods gave us personality archetypes we still use today. Athena, strategist. Hermes, the trickster. Ares, chaos. Dionysus, the wild artist. And Zeus, the CEO with all the scandals.
All right, and that's a wrap on our whirlwind tour of Mount Olympus. Proof that the ancient Greeks could turn every storm, tree, and family feud into an epic saga. And if we did our job today, you're leaving a little more curious and maybe ready to casually drop a fact or two about Zeus's parenting style or Aphrodite's scandalous origin story at your next dinner party.
And if this episode added a little mythological flair, by the way,
mythological.
That should be our word of the day. Mythological.
It's not mythological.
Okay, fine. Mythological. Okay, whatever. Hit subscribe, leave a review, or just enjoy feeling smarter than you did, 40 minutes ago.
And if you leave us a review, you should give us your favorite fun fact because there were a lot today. Mine for sure was Dionysus being sewn into Zeus's leg. Like, what the actual? Until next time, stay curious, stay legendary, and remember, even the gods had family drama. So you're doing just fine, y'all.
Amanda.
What?
We did not get the word of the day.
Oh, we didn't.
We blew it.
No. Because we're still talking.
It was about being calm.
Yes.
Right?
And you know who that was?
Hestia.
Hestia is so equable.
Was equable.
She was equable.
Oh my God. We blew it.
No.
Bye.